You're going to enter 2026 richer and happier by breaking these 7 money patterns. But there are 3 patterns that actually cost you more money because they affect how much you earn. These next 3, I've done them all. And they're about how we show up professionally or don't. And it's costing us money. But once you see them clearly, you can fix them and start earning what you're actually worth. Pattern number 5, not asking for financial help or advice. A Motley Fool study found that 67% of first-gen Americans had to unlearn unhelpful financial lessons learned through their parents. Yet many of us don't seek professional help to learn the right way to manage money in America's financial system. Often, we're trying to figure it out alone. And I hate how much I can relate to this. For a long time, I was too embarrassed to ask for help. But then I finally started reaching out to professionals for guidance. I called Wells Fargo, the bank line. They weren't super helpful. And then I went to talk to the financial advisor that was part of our 403B plan at work. And you know what I got? Not much. There was no real whole picture guidance that I was looking for. And mostly because I didn't have the serious cash that they would have wanted to see to make it worth their time. The first wealth management firm I worked at, they had a $3 million minimum. As in, you needed to walk in with $3 million for them to invest for you, or they were not interested. So, if you're sitting here thinking, it's so hard to get this information explained, I get it. I lived it. That's exactly why I'm giving you all of this information for free. And I'm someone who has passed the gold standard wealth management exam to manage money for the wealthiest in the USA. You shouldn't need to be a multimillionaire to finally get access to good financial knowledge. Pattern number 6, undervaluing your time and skills. A few years into my first job after college, I was making about $36,000 and I was the most senior international admissions counselor there. We had a lot of turnover. And I was the main person to train the new counselors. I was a go-to person for questions. I kept thinking, I should really be getting paid more for all of this extra work. I never did anything about it. When I eventually put my 2 weeks in, my coworker, who would now be the most senior counselor, she immediately negotiated a $5,000 pay bump, making more than I ever did there. That taught me something important. She saw her value and asked for it. I just accepted what I was given. That stung. But I'm glad I learned that lesson early. Always know your worth in corporate. Here's what else happened during that time. Months before I was trying to leave that job, I told my dad. I was in Indiana looking for roles in New York City, and he immediately thought it was a bad idea. He said, don't leave this job. Stay there for the next 15 years, and then you can become the next director when your boss leaves. Nothing sounded worse. He wanted me to play it safe, be grateful, and slowly climb the corporate ladder. But he didn't know that the rules changed. In his generation, loyalty was rewarded. Stay 30 years, get the pension, retire. But now, the biggest pay raises come from job hopping, not waiting around. Companies don't reward loyalty. They reward leverage. Research your market value always. Use Glassdoor, PayScale, ask people in your industry. You may find that you're underpaid. If so, then it's time to ask for a raise or even start looking for a new job. Reframe it. You're not being greedy, you're being strategic. Getting paid fairly means more money to invest, more money to help family, more financial security. Pattern number 7, avoiding financial conversations. This one might be the most expensive pattern of all. A study from Bankrate found that 62% of US adults feel uncomfortable discussing their bank account balances with family and close friends. Money is more taboo than talking about politics and your sex life. Meanwhile, wealthy families talk about money constantly. Money was not talked about in our family. The only money lesson I learned from my dad was that money was scarce and a source of stress. I will admit, though, he did try his best and we were always fed and clothed. But because I didn't grow up with money conversations, all I saw was my dad letting out like deep stress-inducing sighs when it was time to pay for groceries. Like he would go up to the cash register and like literally sigh, and it would get me so stressed. I was like, can we not afford these groceries? Like, what is happening? Growing up without healthy talks about money led me to live in a scarcity mindset for a long time. It's taken over a decade of financial stability to like shake it off. It took me years to even start talking about money to my siblings. Let's change that, y'all. Start small. Next time you're with friends or coworkers or family, try something like, have you noticed grocery prices going up? I'm thinking about increasing my budget. What about you? It's casual, relatable, and opens the door. Ask for advice, not personal details. Something like, I just opened a Roth IRA and I'm looking into what to invest in. What do you do? People love giving advice, and you're going to start learning without making it awkward. Share your wins. When you negotiate a raise or find a great investment, tell someone about it. You'll be surprised by how many people want to learn from you too. Remember, wealthy people built wealth partly through financial conversations. We can do the same. I want you to pick one pattern from this series that resonates with you. Commit to breaking that pattern for the next 30 days. Let me know in the comments which one you're choosing, because we're going to transform our financial futures together. We are the generation breaking the cycle. Our parents gave us survival. We get to build abundance. We've got weekly wealth building videos, so be sure to subscribe. Here is to entering 2026 richer and happier. Bye for now, friends.